Hey guys, this is Ed, Paul, and Anna of Current Brand Media, and we are here to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor.
Sportsball is a great subscription service geared towards minor league baseball fans. Each box features a different minor league team.
You get a box every 3 months with minor league baseball gear, including different styles of hats like Ed's favorite, the dad hat. The cost is less than $12 a month.
Proceeds from each box goes to More Than Baseball, the only nonprofit dedicated to the well-being of minor league baseball players.
We all know that Parents' Days are coming up this summer, so if you've got a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who are particularly difficult to buy for, but you know they're baseball fans, this is the answer, guys.
Meet your new favorite team at sportsballbox.com.
What's up, Deadhead crew? This is a special episode I am releasing today because my friend George Falkowski has released his new book, and I wanted to do my part in promoting his book. So he came on my podcast, and we had a little bit of fun, talking about a couple of his chapters and what led him to write this book. So without further ado, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the episode. All right, enjoy. Well, I want to welcome you guys to a special edition of the Dad Hat Chronicles. With me, I got my friend here, George Falkowski. We are going to talk today regarding his actually brand new book that he just got done writing and releasing. So I'm very excited because I'm going to be reading it as soon as I get it here in North Carolina. So I'm super excited. So, but how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm great, man. It's just it's winter. And we're getting pumped up, and we know the major leagues are going to mess things up again probably and delay that. But minor league baseball is still coming.
That's what I'm saying. I was just going to say minor league baseball is still going.
Yeah, we're keeping busy with youth hockey with my son, and my daughter plays in a women's league. So we've got stuff to keep us occupied.
That's
but
awesome.
We just had National Hat Day recently. So the more hats, the merrier. And but this book has been something that people have been pestering me about for years, and I never felt I had the material to write about, because I've been in media since the early 80s and covered a lot of Stanley Cups and baseball, worked for the Red Sox, as you know, for 10 years. And I didn't feel I had a theme that would appeal to a lot of people. And then, as we talked about, I found this fat padded envelope in storage. We were moving.
Yep.
And in that envelope was a stack of tickets.
Look at that. Those are old school
Yankees
ticket
stubs from the 70s and 80s when I started to drive and go to games. And I just felt that now I've got something, because it wasn't so much these games I remembered. Of course, I did have scorecards saved and all that stuff, but I was remembering all the people I went with and all the crazy stuff that went on. And I'm like, that's the book.
Yeah, absolutely. And you say something, that we both agree on. It's like, sometimes the game just becomes a secondary part to the relationship that you build with people, the fun that you have with a certain people that you went to that game with. So that's what makes it even more, special.
Well, there's the people you went with. This book covers some of my best baseball friends. It covers, I have a chapter about my dad, which, as I was writing it, my dad was a World War II guy, the Great Depression guy, and he wasn't Mr. Huggy, and he wasn't Mr. I love you guys, none of that. But as I was writing the chapter, it revolved around Game 3 of the 1980 American League Championship Series. And as I was writing it, I was realizing that he loved me. And this is just how he showed it. I'm not going to give that away, but it was almost like I got a little teary, because I'm like, wait, what? And yeah, that's kind of how it rolled. So
in his own way, he showed his love.
That's the way they did it in those days, right?
Yeah, they did. So tell me a little bit more. Like, you found these stubs, and how did you just get started? You just like started picking up a stub and then just started writing about each of them?
Well, it actually started on Facebook, because I thought it was cool to find these stubs, and I would put the individual ones up on Facebook. I remember that game, and that was funny, and then this thing happened after the game, and this thing happened before the game, and I'll never forget, this person and what we did, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to stop putting this on Facebook and start writing chapters.
Yeah,
and that's what I did. I got one that I really, and maybe you and your viewers have done it, or anyone who sees this have done it, where there's a chapter about me getting inside information about which ticket booth to go to at Yankee Stadium. on the day of a game to get really good tickets. Now, we've all heard that crap at some point.
Well, of course.
But the chapter is about me being told which booth to go to, which ticket guy to go to, what to say.
Nice.
When
because
I got
you can't
to the
just say,
booth.
so normal stuff. You got to say something.
No. Well, the name of the chapter is, "Hey, Jim, what do you got for me?"
Yeah.
And that apparently was the secret code. But I'm not going to tell you what happened here. I got to leave a little bit for the viewers.
Love it.
But that was that. And I still have friends to this day that they say, "Do you still say, 'Hey, Jim, what do you got for me?'" I'm like, "Yeah, we're buying everything on our phones now. You can't go to
What are you talking about? Everything is online."
And that's the cool part. I mean, I showed you some of these. Like, here's a couple from opening day in 1977.
Look at
I had
that.
on the light for you.
Look at that. Nice and the yellow color with the that was amazing.
The way the Yankees did it in those days is they designated the tickets by color, which section you were in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got the white ones, that's field level box. That was like prime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably got a couple of white ones here. I could show you. There you go. There is a fabulous white ticket.
May 10th, 1979. Look at that. And $7.
This is the ticket that inspired the story, "Hey, Jim, what do you got for me?" So
Nice.
you can see apparently Jim did a pretty good job.
Yes, he did.
But so if you got white, it was lower box. The yellow was what they call main level box. The sort of pale red was the main level reserved. Every section had a color coordination to it. And so I've actually, I have a picture. It's black and white in the book, but I've got it framed at home. I made a mosaic of all my stubs. It's really, it's like tile. It's really cool.
That's cool.
And it's extra special because you can't get ticket stubs. Almost impossible to get unless you ask for it. Like at the game, they might print one out for you.
Right. Yep. But everything is digital now. They're telling you
of the, spectacular, colored, paper stock ticket stub that's really in itself a work of art. Those days are gone.
Yeah, they're no longer around. You have to ask for that, like you said, at the ticket booth. If not, you're out of luck. You don't. Everything is digital. It's on your phone. Show me your phone. Show me the ticket so you can get in. So
here's the whole baggie full of them.
Look at that. That's a little Ziploc bag.
I mentioned Game 3, right, of the ALCS.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the Chevy Chevette breaking down in the parking garage after the game, and that involves my dad coming to the rescue. It's pretty good.
Looking forward to it.
But that's the book. The book, and the whole idea is, while it surrounds the Yankees and those great teams with Reggie Jackson and Catfish Hunter and Ron Guidry, and then Mattingly and Winfield, I have a chapter on those two guys battling for the AL title. I was at that game, that last game of the season in '84.
Mm-hmm.
That's all part of it. But to me, two things, like we said, one, it's about the people you experienced it with, some good, some bad, some crazy, as you know. And also, I think this appeals to people, anybody who's gone to ball games at some point in their life, because you remember your parents, you remember your dates, you remember your friends. We got one tweet the other day that was pretty funny. And I know we're going to talk about chapter 4.
Right.
One of our buddies on Twitter, I'm not going to give him away, sent me a note that said, I love chapter 4. It reminded me of the first girl I fell in love with. We dated for 13 months. When we broke up, in the rant, she said, "I hate you and I hate the Cleveland Indians." And I'm like, I'm hitting the mark.
Oh my God. And I was dying. He actually sent me something similar to it. So,
so I mean, that made my day, because I want people to know that this just isn't about the Yankees. It's about baseball and the memories we have going to games and the people we went with, and how special it all really was. So that's the point. I hope.
I love it. Well, since you already brought it up, you did send me 2 chapters.
Yes,
one of them was that chapter 4. So
yes,
as I'm reading it, I am.
Well, give the background first. You sum it up, and then I'll kind of add a little color.
And so I'm. So here's the thing. I want to know. I'll
tell you. Well, let's give them what happened.
Go
the
for
story
it.
Revolves, as you just heard from the tweet I got, it revolves around my first girlfriend,
Cheryl, right?
Cheryl, and we're still friends to this day. God love her. And seriously, but she was not a sports fan
at all.
But you're in love and she's got a car and you're not driving yet. And she's really pretty. And, you think you're going to marry her. You're 16. Of course you're going to marry her.
Teenage love.
Yeah. So I'm sacrificing major sporting events because I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And so I skipped a game in the 76 World Series. I was just,
that's the one I was just going to bring up. I'm like, you seriously skipped that game?
Well, it was a night game on a Sunday. And I met Cheryl at youth group. I had just gotten involved in a youth group, and she's your first girlfriend, and you've been dating like a month. And she's like, "You're coming to the youth group meeting, right?" And you're like, Yankee, Cheryl, Yankee, Cheryl. And you do it.
And you're thinking, it's like, I'll get to go to more Yankee games. That's no problem.
It's my first World Series too as a fan growing up, which is the hard part, because they had lost game one. And then I mentioned in the chapter, you just can't, like, church is over, run home, watch the game. Oh, no. Now you got to go to Howard Johnson's with the group.
Right. But here's the thing, though. Like, it kind of, in a way, it ended up working out for you, though, right? Because, I mean, the game wasn't that good.
But then I had to come up against the Super Bowl in January.
Right.
The pastor, if you've ever been to a church where they give you the guilt trip about the Super Bowl. Well, I know there's a sporting event tonight, but I know you'll all be where you really.
But hey, listen, I lived that life. My dad's a pastor still to this day.
Yeah,
I know the guilt trips.
And I'm 16, so I'm thinking, well, this is what you got to do when you love somebody, right? You got to give up these other things. What's the Bible say? It's about putting away the childish things or whatever. Look, I'm 100 years old now, and the World Series and the Super Bowl still mean something. Okay.
Absolutely.
So the point of the chapter is that Cheryl and I finally get her to go to a Yankee game, and it's a youth group trip in August of 1977. I have the stub over here someplace, still have that to remind me. And let's just say it was a very interesting evening. And I know you said when you read it, you had a lot of questions. So without giving anything away, what can I tell you?
Well, okay. So you said that was the moment that
it was the moment, as they say in the old TV tire commercials, where the rubber met the road.
Okay.
I went in with very, very high hopes. Let's just put it that way. Because I figured if this works, boom, we are on our way. Yeah. It's I'm 16. This is the one. This is it.
So what was the moment then that really just?
I can't give that part away. But,
I knew it.
There was a moment during the game, and it's really hard because you got your girlfriend with you, and so you're trying to make sure she's having a good time. But it's a freaking pennant race, right? Yankees are battling the Red Sox and the Orioles.
By the way, kudos to you of being very strategic on positioning yourself.
Oh, you saw that?
I read that. Of course I did. I'm like, bravo.
16 years old. We were sitting on the third base side of Yankee Stadium. And we had two seats with the youth group. And Cheryl goes, and I made sure she sat on my right, so I could keep an eye on the game and her
at the same time.
So anytime she turned to me, because gentlemen, look, I don't care how old you are, this still works. If you're sitting on the third base side and your date or your wife or whoever you care about is sitting on your left, here they are, and you're like this
the whole time.
And that's bad. So I'm like 16 and I got this figured out. Dude.
Good for you very early on, because I don't know if me 16 I would have been able to do that.
Strategic, and I'd love to say it worked.
let's leave it at that. Oh my God.
Excuse me. There you go.
That was
a little booster cough right there.
Yeah, that was when I was reading that, I was like, one, smart, two, I feel bad now because that's the moment you knew you're like, oh crap.
Now you can't give that part away, but there was a moment.
I can't. I'm not going to give it away because it's great. It's
there's a moment. There's a crossroads. Your heart is soaring with anticipation,
and we've all been there. That's what is so good about this book. I love it. All right, so let's move on to the other chapter that you sent me. Your friends.
Yes. If I can find that ticket stub here.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much away because obviously I want people to read it.
I can tell you. You can ask the question. I'll find. Oh, by the way, here is the Cheryl game.
Look at that. 14, section 14, row C, seat 19.
Yeah, and seat 18 didn't have any magic in it. Look at the price for that bad boy.
$4.50.
Reserve seat.
1977.
Just past third base. Okay, the game you just brought up is this one.
Yep. April 13th, 1978. Look at the price again still.
There you go.
Oh,
this
my
is
God.
a upper box seat, and it's $6.50.
$6.50. You can't even get in at a minor league game anymore for that much.
Yeah, the Hey Jim, what do you got for me game? With the seats I showed you, those were field box seats for $7.50.
Unreal.
I've actually got a picture in the book. I actually have the pamphlet that I got when my buddy Charlie wanted to buy Sunday plan tickets. And I have a picture. I saved the pamphlet. I found it, and I took a picture of the prices. And we got 16 games in 1980, 13 Sundays, opening day, old timers day, and a holiday. It was either Memorial Day or Labor Day.
Yeah.
$88 for 16 tickets.
Oh my God.
I sound like an old man. Yeah, but when I was a boy, you get
$88.
$88, and I got 16 tickets. Yeah, but it was great. But that's what we did. So, but anyway, 79 opening day. Fire away.
Okay, so Dave, let's talk about Dave,
my boy.
Tell me, and without giving it away,
oh no,
do you think that he did that on purpose?
Well, he did it to be a smart ass. Can I say that? Yeah, I just did.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
Dave Moulter, that's his name. Dave was became a great friend. He was a teacher of mine in high school.
That's crazy.
Had him for a constitutional law class. Of course, this is, my junior year was the 77 World Series. My senior year was 78. So we had some good years. And as you'll see in the book, he actually set me on the path to one of my great romances by providing me the chance to buy tickets to the 1978 playoffs. And so on my 18th birthday, it's in the book, I was at Yankee Stadium for Royals and Yankees. That was the day George Brett hit 3 home runs off a catfish. And then Thurman Munson, God bless him, hit this bomb in the 8th inning off of Doug Bird to win the game. And then I ended up going back the next night, which again set me off on the path of one of the great romances of my life. So I thank him forever. And we actually became friends. Now I'm out of high school, right? I'm in college. His buddy Charlie was his roommate when they were in college. So we become this little gang.
Yeah.
And we ended up buying Sunday plan tickets together in 1980. And we had those tickets for the rest of the 80s. Even when I moved to Boston for graduate school and to work for you know who, I continued to come home whenever I could for Sunday games. And I was always there for opening day and make that trip back and forth from Boston. So we became really good friends. We stayed in touch for many, many years. And the point you're getting at is what he did was, and I'm not going to tell you how or maybe the whole circumstances, is that on opening day, coming off 3 pennants and 2 consecutive World Series championships, with the defending Cy Young winner on the mound, Ron Guidry, who was 25-3 with a 1.74 run average the year before, with 9 shutouts.
That's a hell of a season.
He jinxed the entire 1979 season. I'm not going to tell you how he did it.
Right from the get-go, from opening day.
I mean, because you just know. You just know. And when I was in the chapter, you saw that, I had a routine.
Yeah.
And on the rare chances that I go to a Yankee game today,
you still keep that routine
the same way.
Okay. I was just going to ask you, do you still maintain that?
And I get on Route 46, the back way, and then I get on a bridge, then I swing down the Deegan, and I got to park on a certain. And I felt if I did the same thing the same time every time, it was going to work.
Everything will work out.
Well, I must have missed something that day. I don't even know. But then again, Dave, who as I think I described him as, he was a 12-year-old, little mischievous boy wrapped in the overgrown body of an adult male. He did something. He did something during the game. But see, that's what I remember about the game. I remember Guidry, and I remember they played Milwaukee, and Mike Caldwell, the Yankee killer, was pitching, and I remember all that. And that's important to the story, obviously, because it's opening day.
Correct. And
I was in this mode where I was going to set whatever the record was of consecutive openers, I was going to break it. So I had to be there by that opening day. And all I'm going to say, and you guys know this, if you're any kind of sports superstitious, that my buddy Dave jinxed the entire season. The whole, and you cannot convince me. And you read the chapter, so you tell me. Can you convince me otherwise? I don't think so.
I'm torn because I go between, you know, being superstitious and not, right? You know, because if I keep, you know, I have to, for example, football season, right now going on, I had to wear the same jersey, the same hoodie, the same hat, and all that for games. Once they lost, I changed it all up because they lost.
You know, remember the old commercial? It's only crazy if it doesn't work.
Exactly. Exactly. So
right sock, left sock, let's go.
And you know, there's going to be people on both sides of this conversation, right? About superstition, which is good, which is great. I love it because I think it leads to great.
I don't think anybody can convince me that he didn't blow the entire season.
Well, the 6th inning, you know what? I can't argue with that just because of the.
And if you did, I would fight you. I'd come right through the screen and go after you, man.
This is great. And you know what? I'm sorry. He did. He jinxed the whole season. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I know. Wait. You know, this is Dad Hat Chronicles. So I have a dad hat. It's not a Yankee hat, but in honor of my dad.
I love it. Yes, sir.
New York Giants.
That's right.
Willie Mays, Bobby Thompson, Dusty Rhodes.
And it's a 47 as well, which is
I have
great.
A fitted New Era too. But in honor of this program, I wanted to make sure it was a dad hat.
I appreciate that. I greatly do. I really do appreciate that. You know,
I just love this, and
I like it's nice. And you got the green in the bottom of it. The brim.
They do a good job with some of these, because it's a classic. So they do the green underbill, and they went to gray in the 80s and 90s, and now it's black. I don't get it.
I'm a fan of the green.
But in another book, and I'm already kind of fiddling and diddling with the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a chance to meet Bobby Thompson 3 times, who, of course, our old-time baseball fans know hit the most famous home run in the history of baseball in 1951. And it turns out he lived like one town away from me in New Jersey when I was growing up.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I actually, my boss at the movie theater, who was also a big character in this book, my Mr. B, as he's known in the book, big baseball fan, big Yankee fan. He knew that Bobby Thompson came to movies. And in a complete sidebar to the book promo here is that Officer and a Gentleman is playing with Richard Gere and Deborah Winger. And he calls me over and he goes, George, Bobby Thompson's in the balcony with his wife. They're watching Officer and a Gentleman. So I scurry up the stairs. I peek in and I'm like, there's this 6'3", 6'4" guy with gray hair and this nice woman, very, 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 very distinguished looking woman. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Bobby Thompson. And so I have to set myself upstairs to meet him.
Right.
I got to do this. And of course the movie breaks, they're coming out and there's no way it's like a lava flow. You're not going to stop it. But amazingly, she stops and says, I have to use the restroom, goes in the bathroom, the crowd leaves, and it's just me and Bobby Thompson on the balcony level. It's out, Mr. Thompson, my dad was a big Giants fan. And as it turns out, when I came back years later from Boston and I was in the media, I got to interview Bobby Thompson. I got a copy of his book signed to my father. I got him to come to our TV station. So that's another book altogether. But
that's awesome.
So this is kind of, Bobby Thompson, Willie Mays, Dusty Rhodes, on and on and on. And,
I like it.
I've even got a retro New York Giants baseball jersey. So
nice,
absolutely. So, but to the book,
I'm a fan.
That might be book 3. I'm not even sure, but you did give me permission to show off the cover.
Absolutely, look at that. Meet me at the back.
Get in the light so we can see it without the reflection. And if you look at the back very carefully, you can see the ticket stubs.
That's pretty cool.
You see them in there?
I cannot wait to get this book. I'm telling you right now.
Amazon's got it. It's like $14.95, super cheap. Mm-hmm. And if you're really not want to spend the money, the ebook is out now. That's like $2.95.
So there is the ebook
typos
now.
Because it's self-published. I had to, pretty much be my own editor and stuff. I did have 5 publishers look at it, and they all liked it and they were intrigued by it, but they all seemed to say it's not the right time. And I'm like, well, yeah, I just wrote it, so it's the right time. So I pursued the self-publishing route. My buddy Tony Caparelli, fantastic artist, sports artist based in New Jersey, New York. If you can see the artwork,
yep, right in the back, yeah.
And on the side is what? It's the bat.
Correct.
And for the viewers of your podcast who don't know what this means, if you were never at Old Yankee Stadium, when they refurbished it in the 70s, from the old one to like the new, not the one they have now. One of the things they added, excuse me, one of the things they added to the plaza was this big smokestack. It was like to release steam from the turbines in the building for the air conditioning and this and that. And the legend was that Joe Garagiola was at the stadium early, looking at it for the tour, and saw it and said, "That looks like a baseball bat." And so someone had the bright idea to put a knob on it. Smart. And paint Louisville Slugger on it, and then put Babe Ruth's autograph on it. And so there's this 130-foot bat next to Yankee Stadium, and right in the plaza by the main gate. And so when you were meeting somebody, I'd be like, "Hey, Ed, we're going to meet at the game tonight? Okay, what time are you going to be there? Well, where are we going to meet? Meet me at the bat." And so thousands upon thousands and thousands of Yankee fans have said that over the years. Meet me at the bat. It was just the central location. And that's where you went to meet your friends before the game, because you couldn't miss it, number one. And it was right next to gate 4. So you were right in the ballpark. And the bat is still there. The old stadium is gone. It's now a park. I talk about that in the book. They did put the mound and home plate in the same exact spot as the old stadium. And now it's softball fields and such. But they kept the bat. The bat stands right next to the exit to the Metro North train station. So if you go to New Yankee Stadium, a couple of blocks south, she's still there. I gotta wait a minute. Can I find
I'm happy that it's still there. That was my next question. Is the bat still there?
Yeah, the bat stands. And I think if I was better prepared and had, there we go. It's the black and white photo, but there we are. That's me in August.
Love it. Look at that.
Last year at the bat. So
man,
the bat lives, my man. The bat lives. And I'm going to go out there when the weather gets a little better. I'm going to shoot a full promo, for the publishing house and for social media. We'll go out and shoot video for that. And like I said, the launch date's supposed to be February 14th, but they put it live so I could get my copies, my author's copies, one of which is winging its way to you. And while it was live, they said, "Well, we'll take it down as soon as you get your copies, and then we'll launch it on the 14th. Well, people started to buy it.
Yeah.
And put it up on Facebook. And then I said, what the heck, let's put it up on Facebook. So it did really well it's only been 2 weeks and it's already sold over 100 copies. Doesn't sound like much to you, but I never thought I'd sold.
That's great. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I've got a target in mind. I had to pay for this. So I need a certain number of sales to kind of break even, and then even better to make money.
Absolutely.
But the people who are in it have seen it, and they're all happy with it. One in particular, I will tease. It's very personal. It's the chapter entitled Bobby Mercer Day, but I'm not going to give you anything on that.
Okay, all right, fine.
All I'll say is when your childhood hero retires, that should be the biggest thing that happens that day.
Yep.
And it wasn't.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay. All right. Well, we will tease it up like that. I like it.
I tell you.
So, but it's on sale right now. It's on Amazon,
yes.
Digital, and then
ebook and soft cover.
Okay, good.
So,
and then your official release date as of right now.
Well, it's out, so you can get it today if you want it today. But we're going to try to do some kind of publicity campaign, some PR stuff. Try to get some conventional media and a few more podcasts. And thank you so much for doing this one, just to get more publicity for it, because it'll dovetail with the beginning of spring training. And even if the major leaguers aren't there,
minor leagues are still here.
Minor leaguers are going to spring training.
Yeah,
they got to get ready.
Andy Ball is still there. So.
And we all have a hunger for baseball. We're all getting itchy. I got games on my DVR that I'm looking at when I work out, in the mornings and stuff. And we're ready for some, and the kind of following you have on Twitter, and a lot of the folks that are in our little band of baseball cap and ice cream helmet collectors. We're a passionate bunch.
Yep, we are. Most certainly are.
And my hope is that even if you did not grow up in a big league market like I did, this book will still bring back some memories. And if you did, I don't care if it's Philly, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Boston, Baltimore. Our one buddy Johnny was an Indians fan. Yeah, and I tell you that tweet still has totally made the whole weekend.
Yep.
That it reminded him of a relationship that he had many years ago. Same thing, the dynamic between you're in love with sports, but you're in love with a girl. Now what?
Yeah, exactly. But and you said something cool. It's like, we love the sport, but also at the same time, we're all very supportive of each other.
Yes.
Right. And I think that you're going to do well with this book, my friend.
Well, I hope so.
We're all going to be pushing for it. So,
well, I appreciate the support. People have been great so far. It was a lot of work. I mean, it was fun.
No, I'm sure.
Stuff, because going through my old scorecards, because I saved all those too. And whatever I couldn't fill in with those blanks, I would go to baseballreference.com. They got a nice plug in the book because that if you've been on that website, it's inning by inning, pitch by pitch almost on some of the games. So that filled in some blanks. But I have a lot of the scorecards, the photographs. I got a great picture of me on what was supposed to be opening day 1982. There's a whole chapter on that, and it's called Snopening Day because we got a blizzard.
Yeah,
on opening day.
I'm in Cleveland, we got a lot of those. So
yeah, except it delayed the opener by 5 days.
Sheesh.
Which was just mind-numbingly awful.
Right.
And that's a good chapter because in that one I had to decide between keeping my opening day streak going or going to Easter services.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was another one of those crossroads moments in my young life.
That fork on the road.
What I did, but I'm not going to tell you how it worked out. But
like I said, I'm very much looking forward to getting this book this week, hopefully, and then sitting down and reading it because I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a good one. I really do.
Well, I appreciate it, and just you can tell from the couple of samples I sent you, it's very personal. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of sweetness. I will add though, just to be honest about it, the hardest chapter I had to write about was the game the night after Thurman Munson died. Okay, killed in a plane crash on a Thursday.
Yeah,
and me and my girlfriend at the time and her two brothers went on the Friday game. This was not the game that everybody sees on Yes Network where Bobby Mercer hits the homer and the double. That was Monday. That was the day of the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
This was the day after.
Okay,
literally like 24 hours after the news came out. And I didn't know how to write that one. That was really
that took a long time to write.
Well, no, but a confluence of events, as I describe in the book. A buddy of mine, I told him, I said, I'm ready to go back to Yankee Stadium this year. I hadn't been there in 5 years because it's expensive and all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get tickets. Okay. And he called me up and he says, hey, I got tickets for Monday, August 2nd. How's that? I'm like, yeah, I'm off, man. I'll see you there. Meet him at the bat. No, but you get it. And about a half an hour later, I realized that was the anniversary of Munson's death.
Oh, wow.
And they were playing the Orioles, who they played on August 3rd, 1979, when I went to this game. And the thing about it was that I went to the game anticipating I was going to feel and experience a lot of emotion a certain way. And having spent a lifetime in TV and in journalism, quite often when you expect to go to a story and something's going to happen, it doesn't happen the way you think it's going to happen. And so it was like completely the opposite kind of happened at the stadium. But when my buddy Charlie, and again, it was Charlie, of course it's Charlie,
of course,
got the tickets, and he didn't do it on purpose. Like, oh, that's August 2nd. It's Thurman Munson's
Let's just get it. Yeah, exactly.
It was divine intervention. And I'm like, the chapter's writing itself now. So I knew I would go, I would experience it. I would come home, I would write about it and put a bow on it. And that was the last chapter I had. And it was the hardest to write because it was
a lot of emotion.
It was really sad. It was terrible. Munson was a rookie my first year as a fan, as a kid. So it was like you lost a member of your family. And people don't understand that. I write about that how can you never know this guy. When you root for a team, they're family. And it was really the first person, now that I think about it, that wasn't like your grandmother or that passed away. It was something big. It was, and it still hurts us today to look back on that day. And when you see the videos and stuff and how he passed. So that's in it too. But I think it'll bring a lot of smiles. It'll bring a lot of memories. and hopefully a lot of laughs, because there's some pretty crazy stuff that went on at these games. So I think people will appreciate it. Just like I appreciate you doing this, by the way.
Absolutely. We were talking about it. Like, let's have you come on and
I appreciate it.
Promoting the book, because I think it's a good book, and I think it was a great idea, and and you're a good friend, and I wanted to do my part in making sure that we are promoting this book. Absolutely.
You're the man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'm going to put the link for the book on Amazon, so that way people can go ahead and find it, and we'll go from there. And then this should be releasing as soon as possible.
Promotion.
There it is.
It's available now. You don't have to wait till February to get it. February 14th. You can get it anytime. It's there. So
perfect.
And I hope it strikes a chord and gets a few laughs.
Good. I hope so too, my friend. Because it's all about
the game on the first day of the season, Ed. Just don't do that.
I won't. I promise I won't do that. I promise.
Walter, wherever you are, buddy.
We will not be jinxing it, and I promise. If you get a no, you do not say a word, okay?
That's it.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks, George. I appreciate that.
All right, my brother. And God bless, and I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who's bought it so far and who may buy it. And I really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode with George. Make sure you guys are going to his Amazon website, so that way you guys can go ahead and purchase the book. It is there paperback, and also it is there on a digital format, so that way you guys can get it right away. Okay. I really want to thank him for coming on and really trusting me to help him promote this book. I mean, this is a big deal for me. I'm very happy, and I'm very proud of the work that he has done, and I really do wish him the best with this book, and then many others to come. Okay, guys? So keep on grinding always, and please support the minor leagues. See you.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Dad Hat Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you, and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean, and I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTomaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball, so get on the site and find a team near you today.
Learn more about Curved Brim Media at CurvedBrimMedia.com.